Have you ever felt the urge to speak out, only to regret it later? In a world that constantly pressures us to react, we often find ourselves caught in the heat of the moment, defending our actions or arguing over things that don't matter. But what if the real strength lies in silence? Stoicism teaches us that the most powerful response is often no response at all. By staying silent, you take control of the situation and protect your peace, letting time or karma handle the rest. The Stoics knew that reacting in anger or frustration only fuels the fire. Today, we'll explore 7 times when silence is not just an option, but the most powerful tool you have. By mastering the art of silence, you can regain control, maintain your dignity, and let the universe do the heavy lifting. Let's dive into these moments and discover how silence can be your superpower. 1. Silence. When facing anger. Anger is a powerful emotion. It's one of those feelings that rises quickly and can take over if we don't manage it. It's easy to let anger control our actions, especially when we feel disrespected or hurt. In these moments, we may feel the need to defend ourselves, to react instantly, and to ensure the other person knows how we feel. However, Stoicism teaches us a different way. Stoics understand that while we can't control what happens to us, we have full control over how we respond to those events. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." In the heat of the moment, when anger arises, the Stoic response is not to lash out or react impulsively. Instead, the Stoic response is to stay silent, giving ourselves time to regain composure and clear thinking. Choosing silence doesn't mean weakness. In fact, it's one of the most powerful actions we can take. By staying silent, we assert control over ourselves and prevent our emotions from leading us into actions we might later regret. When we choose to remain quiet in moments of anger, we avoid feeding into the conflict. Silence allows us to disconnect from the intensity of the situation and gives us time to regain a sense of calm. Imagine you're in a meeting and a colleague insults you, questioning your work or your judgment. The natural impulse is to respond, to defend yourself, and to prove them wrong. But instead of reacting, you choose silence. In that moment, your silence speaks louder than any words could. It shows self-control and confidence. It's an invitation for the other person to reflect on their words. By choosing to stay silent, you allow the situation to cool down naturally. In many cases, the person who insulted you will feel awkward or uncomfortable after realizing their mistake. Stoics believe that reacting in anger only makes the situation worse. When we act impulsively, we often say things we don't mean or make decisions that don't serve our best interests. But silence is different. Silence gives us power. It creates space between the initial trigger and our response. It allows time for the anger to subside, for rational thinking to return, and for us to regain our composure. This is where karma comes into play. When you don't react in anger, you remove yourself from the conflict and allow the universe to handle it. Over time, the person who wronged you will face the consequences of their own behavior. Karma works because, by not reacting, we're not giving the other person the fuel they need to continue. Our silence sends a message that their actions don't affect us. Instead of escalating the situation, we allow the natural flow of consequences to unfold. This is the true power of silence, letting things resolve without adding more emotional fuel to the fire. Next time you find yourself in a situation that triggers your anger, pause. Take a deep breath and give yourself a moment to decide how you want to respond. Choose silence instead of reaction. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but in time, you'll see how powerful it can be. By remaining silent, you protect your peace, and you allow the universe to handle the rest. Remember, silence is strength, not weakness. 2. Silence. When facing criticism. Criticism is a part of life. Whether it's constructive or not, we've all been on the receiving end of it. The natural response is to defend ourselves, justify our actions, or even attack back. But in Stoicism, we're taught that criticism, especially unjust criticism, shouldn't be met with an immediate reaction. Instead, we're encouraged to stay calm, stay silent, and assess the situation rationally. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Stoics understand that criticism is often more about the critic's perspective than about the truth of the situation. In these moments, silence helps us detach from the emotional impulse to react, giving us the space to reflect on whether the criticism is valid or simply a reflection of the other person's bias. When we're criticized, especially in a harsh or unjust manner, it can feel like an attack on our character or abilities. However, responding immediately with anger or defensiveness only fuels the conflict and often results in further damage to our own reputation. Imagine receiving harsh feedback from a boss or coworker accusing you of mistakes you know you didn't make. Your instinct might be to immediately explain yourself or correct the other person, but this can escalate the situation, making it personal instead of constructive. Instead, remaining silent gives you a moment to process the feedback without reacting impulsively. It gives you time to evaluate whether the criticism has any merit, and if it does, how you can learn from it. At the same time, silence also signals that you won't be manipulated or swayed by emotional outbursts. You demonstrate that you don't need to defend your actions in the heat of the moment, showing self-respect and poise. Karma plays a key role here as well. When you choose silence, you remove yourself from a potentially harmful situation. Over time, the person who criticized you will either realize their mistake or continue to expose their own shortcomings. You don't need to do anything but stay calm, confident, and focused on your own growth. This approach allows you to maintain your peace without getting entangled in unproductive drama. Instead of wasting energy on proving yourself, you let the situation resolve itself, keeping your integrity intact. The next time you face criticism, pause before responding. Take a deep breath, let the emotions settle, and choose silence. This silence doesn't mean weakness, it means wisdom. You're letting the other person's words speak for themselves while you focus on how to grow and improve without reacting from a place of hurt or anger. Remember, silence is not a lack of response. It's a response to preserve your peace. 3. Silence. When provoked. Being provoked is one of the most common situations where we feel an immediate urge to react. Whether it's someone mocking you, testing your patience, or pushing your buttons, the instinct to respond is strong. In these moments, it seems like the only way to regain control of the situation is to fire back. However, Stoicism teaches that we have the power to choose our responses, and often the wisest choice is silence. Epictetus said, "When someone provokes you, they are attempting to control your emotions. Do not give them that power." By staying silent, you deny them the control they seek over your emotional state. You make a conscious decision not to engage in their game. When you remain silent in the face of provocation, you take control of the situation. You refuse to let someone else dictate your emotional response. Silence, in this context, is not a form of weakness, but rather a powerful act of self-control. It's an active choice to protect your inner peace. Think about a time when someone deliberately provoked you, perhaps with a sharp comment or a sly remark. Your immediate instinct may have been to argue back, to defend your honor, or to retaliate. Yet, by staying silent, you rob them of the power to provoke you. You refuse to be part of their drama, and that is where your strength lies. In these moments, karma also plays an important role. When you choose to stay silent, you give the situation room to resolve itself. The person who is trying to provoke you will eventually realize that their attempts are futile. Without your reaction, they have no power to escalate the situation. Over time, their behavior will reflect poorly on them, not on you. By staying silent, you let karma handle the outcome. The more they push and provoke without getting the reaction they expect, the more they reveal their own insecurities. Meanwhile, you remain unshaken, maintaining your dignity and inner peace. This approach is not just about avoiding conflict, but about keeping your energy focused on what truly matters. When you choose silence, you rise above petty squabbles and unnecessary drama. You're not drawn into a battle of egos or emotions. Instead, you choose to conserve your energy for things that bring you growth and peace. The next time you feel provoked, take a step back before reacting. Pause, breathe, and choose silence. By doing so, you not only protect your peace, but you also demonstrate a quiet strength that speaks louder than any words could. Remember, silence is the most powerful response to those who seek to disturb your peace. 4. Silence. When insulted. Being insulted is a challenging experience. It strikes at our sense of dignity and can often feel like a personal attack on our character. Our first instinct is to defend ourselves, to explain, to show the other person that they are wrong. But reacting immediately to an insult can often make things worse, escalating the situation and leading to more hurt feelings on both sides. Stoicism teaches us that we must not be ruled by our emotions. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When someone insults us, the Stoic response is to pause, reflect, and choose silence rather than rushing into a defensive or retaliatory response. By doing so, we maintain our composure and avoid the emotional trap of getting caught up in the conflict. Silence in the face of an insult is a powerful form of self-mastery. It shows that you are in control of your emotions and that no external words or actions can determine how you feel about yourself. Instead of reacting from a place of hurt, you take a step back and choose not to engage in the negativity. This allows you to protect your inner peace and avoid unnecessary conflict. Imagine being insulted by a friend, someone you care about. The words may sting, and the desire to defend yourself may feel overwhelming. But if you stay silent, you avoid adding fuel to the fire. The person who insulted you might feel uncomfortable or even regretful when they see that their words didn't provoke you. Silence allows them to reflect on their actions without you having to say a word. By choosing silence, you allow karma to work its magic. The insulted party will eventually realize their mistake, and the situation will either resolve itself or reveal their true character. You, on the other hand, maintain your dignity and avoid getting entangled in the negativity. Over time, people will come to respect you for your ability to stay calm and collected, regardless of the provocation. Stoicism teaches that external events, such as insults, are outside our control. What we can control is our reaction to them. By staying silent, we choose not to let those external events disrupt our peace or our sense of self-worth. This allows us to preserve our energy and focus on the things that truly matter. The next time you are insulted, remember that you don't have to respond immediately. Take a deep breath and give yourself time to reflect. Choose silence over reaction and allow the situation to unfold naturally. Over time, you will become more adept at handling insults with grace and calm, knowing that your self-worth isn't defined by the opinions of others. Remember, silence is not weakness. It's the wisdom to let things pass without disturbance. 5. Silence. When you don't have enough information. In today's fast-paced world, we are often expected to have answers at a moment's notice. Whether it's a question at work, a decision in our personal lives, or an unexpected problem that arises, there is pressure to respond quickly. But Stoicism teaches us that it's okay not to have all the answers immediately. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." In moments when we don't have enough information to make a decision or provide an answer, Stoics advise us to pause and remain silent. Choosing silence in these situations doesn't mean avoiding responsibility or appearing weak. Instead, it shows that we value accuracy over haste. Silence gives us time to reflect, gather information, and come to a more thoughtful, informed conclusion. Imagine you are asked to make a decision on something complex at work. Perhaps it's about a project that's still in its early stages, or a situation where the details are unclear. Your initial instinct might be to jump in with an answer, to avoid looking indecisive or unprepared. But by doing so, you risk making a rash decision based on incomplete or incorrect information. Instead, by staying silent, you give yourself the opportunity to gather all the necessary facts and consider the situation more thoroughly. This pause allows you to step back from the pressure to respond immediately, and instead approach the issue with clarity and intention. In this way, silence becomes an essential tool for making wise decisions. By not reacting too quickly, you avoid the pitfalls of acting without understanding the full picture. This not only leads to better decisions, but also fosters respect from others, as they will see that you are thoughtful and deliberate in your actions. Karma plays a subtle but powerful role in this. When you stay silent instead of making a hasty decision, you allow the situation to unfold naturally. The answers will come in their own time, and by waiting patiently, you position yourself to make decisions based on truth and insight rather than impulse. When we take the time to silence ourselves in the face of uncertainty, we give room for our mind to work through the problem. In many cases, the solution may present itself naturally without needing to force an immediate response. This is where wisdom lies. Understanding that not all problems require an immediate reaction. The next time you're faced with a situation where you don't have all the facts, take a deep breath and choose silence. Resist the urge to respond or make a decision until you have the clarity you need. By practicing silence, you'll make more thoughtful, informed decisions and avoid rushing into choices you may later regret. Remember, silence in uncertainty is the first step toward wisdom. 6. Silence. When forced to explain yourself. One of the most uncomfortable situations we often face is when we are forced to explain ourselves. Whether it's at work, with friends, or even within family, there are times when others demand an explanation for our actions or decisions. In those moments, we may feel pressured to justify ourselves, to offer a defense for our choices, and to prove that we were right. However, Stoicism teaches us that we do not owe anyone an explanation for our actions unless it is necessary. Epictetus wisely stated, "Don't explain your philosophy, live it." This powerful insight reminds us that our actions should speak for themselves. We should not feel compelled to explain every decision or justify every action. In fact, Stoics believe that constantly explaining ourselves only weakens our position. When we explain too much, we open ourselves to judgment and criticism. It's an invitation for others to question our decisions and undermine our confidence. On the other hand, by choosing silence, we show that we are comfortable with our choices and that we don't need external validation to feel secure in our actions. Imagine deciding to make a big change in your life, such as moving to a new city, quitting a job, or starting a new project. People around you may question your decision and demand an explanation. They may not understand your reasons, or they may have their own opinions about what you should be doing. In these moments, it can be tempting to offer a long explanation, but doing so can diminish the power of your decision. Instead, Stoicism encourages us to maintain our self-respect and simply stand by our choices. When you refuse to explain yourself, you're asserting your personal boundaries and your right to make decisions for yourself without needing others' approval. By staying silent, you not only protect your integrity, but you also avoid unnecessary conflict. Karma also plays an important role in this. When we choose not to explain ourselves, we avoid giving others the power to dictate our lives. Over time, people will come to respect you for standing firm in your decisions. They may eventually realize that they do not have the right to question or challenge your actions as long as they do not harm anyone else. Next time someone forces you to explain your decision, pause. Take a deep breath, and instead of launching into a long explanation, simply say, "This is the choice I've made." Let the silence speak for itself. By doing so, you reclaim your power and maintain control over your personal narrative. Remember, you don't owe anyone an explanation for your choices. Live your truth and let silence be your answer. 7. Silence. When you realize someone is trying to control you. There are times in life when we encounter people who try to control or manipulate us. These individuals may use guilt, shame, or even praise to gain influence over our decisions. They may not always be overt about it, but their intentions are clear. They want us to do things their way, to follow their lead, and to act according to their desires. When we're in these situations, the natural instinct might be to resist or argue. We may feel that we need to defend ourselves, assert our independence, and refuse to be controlled. While standing up for ourselves is important, Stoicism teaches us a more powerful response. Silence. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." When we realize that someone is trying to control us, our first reaction may be to feel anger, fear, or frustration. These emotions, if not controlled, can lead us to make rash decisions, argue back, or become defensive. However, reacting in this way only gives the other person more power over us. Instead of fighting against them, we should take a step back, observe, and remain silent. Choosing silence when someone tries to control you is not about passivity. It's about preserving your peace and power. When we remain silent, we are not giving the manipulator the reaction they seek. Silence denies them the emotional response they are trying to provoke, and it creates a space where we can retain control over our actions and decisions. Consider a situation where a close friend or family member constantly pressures you to make decisions that align with their wishes. Perhaps they want you to follow a career path, attend a specific event, or make a particular lifestyle choice, all while ignoring your personal preferences. In these situations, the pressure to comply can be overwhelming, and the instinct is often to explain yourself or argue your point. But the Stoic way is different. Instead of defending your position or getting caught in a back and forth, you choose silence. By doing this, you stop the cycle of manipulation and make it clear that you are not going to engage in this emotional power struggle. Silence shows that you are not a puppet to be controlled by their opinions or desires. Instead, you are your own person, capable of making decisions without being swayed by external pressure. The more we respond to attempts at manipulation, the more we empower the other person. They may feel justified in continuing to pressure us, thinking that they can wear us down. But by remaining silent, we take away their power to manipulate us. Over time, they may come to understand that their tactics no longer work, and they will begin to respect your boundaries. Karma plays a subtle but powerful role in these situations. When you choose silence, you allow time to reveal the truth. The person attempting to control you may not recognize the impact of their behavior immediately, but over time, they will see the consequences of their actions. By not reacting, you allow karma to take its course and bring them to a realization of their own behavior, while you maintain your integrity. This approach also allows you to focus on what truly matters: your own values, your own decisions, and your own path. When we engage in power struggles with others, we often lose sight of our own goals and priorities. But silence gives us the space to reconnect with our inner self, to reflect on our own desires, and to make decisions that align with our true purpose. The next time someone tries to control you, remember that you don't need to argue or defend yourself. take a moment to pause, breathe, and choose silence. By doing so, you not only protect your peace but also show the world that you are in charge of your own life. The more you practice silence in these situations, the more you will strengthen your ability to maintain your boundaries and your independence. Remember, silence is the strongest response to those who seek to control you. Your actions, not your words, will show them your power. In a world where we are constantly encouraged to react and defend ourselves, Stoicism offers a refreshing perspective. The art of silence isn't about weakness or passivity. It's about taking control of your emotions and letting karma handle what is beyond your reach. As we've seen today, choosing silence in the face of anger, criticism, provocation, or attempts to control us doesn't make us passive. It makes us powerful. By staying silent, we create space to preserve our peace, protect our dignity, and avoid unnecessary conflict. We give ourselves the freedom to not be controlled by external events or people's opinions. In many cases, silence allows the universe to take care of things for us, letting time reveal the truth and expose those who try to manipulate or hurt us. Remember, silence is strength, not weakness. In moments of challenge, choose to pause, breathe, and embrace the power of silence. By doing so, you reclaim control over your life, your emotions, and your peace of mind. Now, take a moment to reflect. How can you practice silence in your own life today? The next time you're faced with a challenge, remember the strength that silence can bring.